Welcome back to the channel. It's now nearly 1 o'clock on a Saturday. I've saved you watching what I've been doing, but I'll give you a quick recap. I've spent that long in this boot now. I must be on my 4th video, I think. But I've just, over last night and this morning, I've capped off the top of the chassis rails. I've just added in a bit of weld on a couple of the gaps I had. In the end, I decided to just solid weld it, seam weld it. 1, for strength, and 2, I just thought it'd look a little bit better. I know I've done that there, but the fuel tank's going to come up to here. So I just need to clean up all these welds now, and then I'm ready to start building the floor sections and the chassis rails. What I've also done, not the chassis rails, sorry, the tubs. I chopped off that extra little bit that I put down there, and I've seam welded it across the top of the chassis as well. So this all just needs linishing back, and then we're getting somewhere close. Last weekend when I was welding as well with my mask, because it was so bright, I had the mask turned down too low, and I got a bit of arc eye, so it's took me about 5 days to recover. So I bought myself a new mask from Amazon. Absolutely brilliant. It cost me just under 70 quid. If you're in the market for a mask, that one's brilliant. You can actually see through it properly when you're not welding, whereas the other one I was using, it was just a little bit too dark. That one shows relatively true colour, so you can actually see what you're doing. In fact, I'll show you. So that's what this welder sees when you're not welding. Whereas the other one I was using, this one, I know it's a bit dirty, but this one was like that. So really was struggling. I'm now waiting on some flat discs so I can linish this back. I think I've got one more, so I might just be able to do it. So I'll put the camera on, I'll show what I'm doing just for this last bit, and then we'll start making the last little bits of floor section. I have joggled this edge back. It's turned out okay. Still got to joggle that edge back, cut that back to wherever it needs to go, and we need to make that arch profile. Massive step there. Ripped off the body kit from the driver's side. You can see how thick I had the filler on to blend in the Series 1 turbo arches. A little bit of rust down at the bottom, which doesn't matter because the arch is getting cut all the way around there because we're putting on the Panique body kit, which I might even put in place to have a look what it looks like in a minute. So I have cut out the rusty part of the fuel filler because obviously we're not keeping the fuel filler there, and I've taken it out on the inside as well and just put some direct to rust paint inside there, ready to close in this panel. The next job is going to be make this little floor section here, and then we can get the arch welded in, and then that's the driver's side rear finished. The reason why I've ripped this out is because I need to think about making this panel next, and I'm going to be chopping that off somewhere around there, that inner arch, the inner tub, so that I can flare out the arches so I can have some massive wheels on the back. Here's what the rear quarter looks like on the body kit, the Panique body kit. It's a used one, can't get it anymore. You see the flare on that, massive. And just to show you what the plan is, I'm gonna cut up here, flatten it off and meet up to the side of the arch, and the same on the front as well. So I'll take it to about here. So all of that up to that lip there is going to be getting chopped out. So the fact that we've got rust isn't going to matter to us at all. Just wanted to have a look what it was like. It's going to be a lot of work to fit it. I need to dig out the lip where all the rivets go as well. It's set in, and whoever fitted it last time has put too much filler on. So I'm gonna have to sand this right back, probably, to sort of this mark. So that's the first tub permanently welded in place. We've gone all the way around the inner arch there, across the top. I had to double it up at the top there and gone part way down. I'm actually going to seam weld a filler piece in here just up to the top of the chassis leg, I've decided. Still need to weld the bottom bit in, and I've just got to put them two spot welds in. I think there's three actually. Underneath, I'll just show you how we're looking. So penetration's really good. I'll go over all that with a sandblaster. Welded in the bottom there where it could get a water trap. Just got to go across there as well and fill in that piece. And then just on the back here, I think I saw one little bit of daylight through just there. It just wants touching up, but other than that, it's very well welded. So I'm pleased with how that's come out. And then that there is going to be cut, as I say, here and extended up to this. Got a little closing panel fitted in now. Just got to get this floor section put in and then that closing panel there. Then we can start on that side. Through the petrol flap, obviously just a piece of steel. And that's going to be getting flushed over. Managed to get this filler piece in. All I've got left to do now on this side is put that little filler piece in there and fill that little section in. I've just welded across there. There are a couple of little gaps in it which I need to linish back and re-weld, but I've got to touch up this section anyway, and I've just noticed a little tiny bit there. I thought I'd set up a time lapse, but I forgot. But I've welded that piece in now. So that's flush welded, butt welded as well. That's just where I was flapping it down. Just want to clean up a little bit. Little skim of filler just to make it completely flat, but it's going to need the same on all the chassis legs anyway. So this side now is completely finished. I'm going to crack on with that side. I don't think I'll film any of that unless I come up against something that I think needs it, because I've pretty much shown everything. I'll just show you the inside of that. Don't know how well it's going to show up. Wants linishing back a little bit, but it's totally welded. I've done it inside and out, and I've touched in all the bits where there were gaps. Oh, and I filled in that bit finally. So just wants a little bit of linishing back now. The reason why I've done it this way is I've not got any folded pieces now, so there's no lips with spot welds in, which obviously could let water in, other than the wheel arch just from there to there, and I can seam seal that, but all that will be seam sealed as well. So it's looking good. Really not looking forward to doing the front, but the reason why I've cracked these arches on is so that I can maybe even tub right the way through. Who knows? finally, the inner boot's finished. Just got a little bit of linishing back to do with all the welds, but I'm not too bothered about doing that at all. I'll see if I can give you a quick glimpse from here, but I'll probably have the thumbnail as it anyway. Underneath, you've just seen, just welded up the little gaps there and there. Still need to do a load of linishing back, but I've got to tub the arches, so body kit's on there. Need to decide how to mount onto this, but that'll be in the next video. So I'm going to leave it at that. Hopefully next video I'm going to start chopping this back arch out, do something semi-exciting. So I'm bored of doing that boot now, so I can take the body kit off the Clecos, start trimming the arch off and start figuring out how to tub the arch right out so that I can have properly wide wheels on.